gaze upon things and wonder if I could remember our sales order out of my head. Right? Okay, so that, you asked.
Right, so this is what we laughingly call the old girl front office. Leslie sits there, Emily sits there, the other Emily sits there, and Kat, the accountant, sits there.
Oh.
In here is we've got 3 guys in here. The main draftsman is sitting there. This is
Panzerholz melting board.
This is Panzerholz, it's called Permally.
So are we getting new boards in our Keygons? New boards
we can't
out
put
of
these
this?
in. No, you can't. They're too thick. So the chassis is too shallow.
Damn.
Yeah, damn.
Okay.
I think you might get tough now. I'll show you what that looks like. But this is too thick, and we can't. This is the thinnest you can make.
No, I
can't make any thinner than this.
So are the new Keygon red classic chassis the chassis for the classic amps? Are the new ones a little bit?
No, they're not. They're exactly the same size. We are looking. We're bringing out a new issue, as you know.
Yes, actually.
And
is that actually out? Like one could order
we're beginning. You can order them. The delivery is quite long.
Okay.
We sold 200 or 300 pieces to Hong Kong. For delivery over 2-year periods, so that eats into a lot of what we can do. So Darko sits here and does a lot of his clever shit.
All right.
Anyway, that's the administrative part. We hold, as you know, we don't hold a lot of stock. We do hold stock of the CD players.
Oh, that's good to know. I need another one.
We hold stock, even the CT6, we have 1 or 2 in stock. Otherwise, it's stock of cable packaging and all sorts of things, and obviously stock of the CDs and so on from Vincent. Yeah. This is where we collate the orders. I don't know whether you've seen this one. This is very good. I'll play you the
no, I
LP
don't have
version.
that one. I have Vincent's.
This is basically where the orders get collated and then they get packed and shipped. This is the salt rack. This is where everything gets put on here and runs for either a few days, in some cases several weeks. Depends a little on what it is, where part of the order they are, how old the valves we use in them are, and so on. Because some of them, the valves, you take a valve that's 75 years old and wake it up, and it wakes up and it goes, what the fuck happened here? And then, suddenly it decides after 3 days it's had enough of that, and then it dies. And you can't, it's one of these things.
Who chose the
We
color?
have our own paint shop, so we can do all sorts of custom finishes. This is.
Okay, so you're doing that in house.
We're doing that in house. I'll take you down and show you.
Yeah. Okay. So Nick's ones are gloss black, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would never do that. I would do the copper.
Look at that one.
That's really cool.
Inside.
Okay. I mean, no, it's cool. It's really cool. I would just do the. It's too much old school.
Yeah. Some people. I mean, we just sold a pair of Shingurus, which is a mono version of this. And the customer originally ordered gloss black.
Okay.
And then we sent him a picture of them. He said, "No, I don't like that. I want copper." And of course, we haven't got the copper tops in stock.
Oh.
So he's now having to wait another 6 weeks to get them, and he went fucking spare. So I said to him, "Okay, what we'll do is we'll take the black tops off and send it with no tops on. And then when the copper tops are ready, we'll ship those down to you, and then the distributor will come and put them on." All right then.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to say, okay, this is a delicate finish, right? Otherwise, this finish, you could send him this finish, right?
Yeah,
with the lids. You could actually send him amps with lids, and then swap the lids out.
Yeah. Oh, we'll send it out and finish it. Easier. So, but anyway, so this stuff sits here for quite a long while, and in some cases, and runs. But we just shipped a big order to Hong Kong with 3 M10s and a lot of other stuff.
Well, actually, I need some bits. I need a package. I need a bag of the screws, the Phillips head screws that hold the lids onto the
yeah,
M10.
I can get you those tomorrow. We can't get into stores. So this is service and repairs and upgrades and things.
Okay.
There's a guy called James sitting there.
Okay.
Here's the resistor machine that is going to be selecting the resistors.
So let's say
For the DACs, yeah.
For the
So you
DACs.
sent a picture of this, like,
Yeah, but this is the
Really long
adapter
time
that,
ago.
this is the printer that then prints on the side here the code, so that we can see what the code is. And there's the computer and all that. This is not
so
really.
no signal playing, this is our thing.
We're
So
still-
we
we're
want
still,
it to be down, I want it to be down, we want to kind of
we're
shift
still,
around,
you know,
kind of
working on it because
What can I do now?
this is a temperature
I can use,
controlled chamber,
take into account.
and we're having problems getting it to stay exactly at the same
last
time
one
at the
here,
right
in the
temperature.
combination of this one, I want to
It's just a question of time. Somebody has to have the time to do it.
as
That's the
least
problem.
section as possible.
They have all sorts of other things to do.
Keep
So then we got 3 test engineers
and down. So this one is
sitting there.
critical kind of
Hello, Darko, anyway. Say hello to
down,
Mike and Nelly.
down.
hi.
We put all the, over there, we put all the, sorry guys. Just okay. All the, that's the mechanical bench over there, so all the fittings go on over there. And then they move here, and all the circuit over there, they married up to the circuit boards and the transformers and everything else, and wired at these benches here. And we normally got there's about 9 people sitting along here, these two rows. This guy here, he's in a wheelchair. That's why it's so low. He wires all the new
Oh, that's the volume control.
the volume controls, and these are
Okay, so
solid.
that one's round, and the
These
ones
are
that we got were square.
No, they're square. Once you put them like that,
okay,
they're
there we
square. No, they're round. But these individual are silver, solid silver. So the individual contact points are solid silver, and the ratchet that moves around. And we've just bought a 3D printer for making these ourselves in house. So it just dropped $9 grand on a 3D printer. We're moving a lot of processes in house. You know, we're just about to buy a laser cutter for cutting the acrylic front panels and back panels. But we need to spend about. I want a really proper one. So it's kind of like £35,000. Finding £35,000 like that isn't, especially given that I've spent over £400,000 on basically we're moving 60-70% of production to Lithuania. We've got a factory in Lithuania that's the same size as this now, or nearly the same size.
Oh, this
That we're refurbished, and well, because of Brexit, because
this
we don't
is the whole
know.
thing about Brexit that makes me.
We don't know. We don't know which way it's going to go, and if it goes the wrong way, we won't have time to do anything. So I decided about a year and a bit ago that we're going to have to transfer most of the production out of the UK. The people here will not lose their jobs. There'll be other things for them to do. Because this is one, you see, I being from Scandinavia, the social responsibility that you have when you employ people is because they are as much stakeholders as the shareholders. All this bullshit about the shareholders being the main stakeholders. He makes the TT3s. No, they're made here. We make the TT3s at this bench and at that bench there. So, you know, I mean, he makes other things as well. He's just been assembling a ton of these. This is one of the cable benches. We make cables here. This is the new top of range amplifier.
This
This is the Legend. Now the Legend, these ones, we sold 3 pairs to the same customer of these. And he had a small collection of a very rare trial called the DA100. Looks like this. This is an old English trial. It's similar to an 845. I can show the original version. It's about that big. These are the later ones. And this is what this is made for.
So the chassis is customizable for
Chassis
for
is customized for that. So you can see here we make our own valve bases,
that is
all
like,
made. I'll have to figure out which way around it goes. Hang on, that way. How nice is
okay.
that?
That is the most fabulous.
So each of the valves
Valve
has
base
its own
ever.
valve base. All of these are made in house. We have a little machine down there that a little router that routes these out.
Are you going to use them in anything else?
Well,
Where
I mean,
you
these
have
are so
room?
expensive to make that I mean, this is this is like 300 quid.
No. I'm thinking of maybe
So,
on the level.
I don't know how
of
many of these
Kegon-
we're going to make.
The Kegon
but,
balanced or something. Right? Other level 5
well, no,
amps.
these are the problem with these are they have to be this thick, and it
Yeah, well,
becomes
there's-
very difficult. But I mean, this valve is like $6,000-7,000 each. So yeah. Anyway, I better put it back. It's not mine. It belongs to the customer. He has 14 of them. And he also has a collection of some other trials that he wants us to make. He's been a mate of mine for years. In fact, we're partners in the Chinese component business. But I mean, look at this. This is the
that's a transformer
transformer mounting plates.
Oh.
But these start at about £300,000 a pair. And then depending on the tube you use, and how customized they are, they'll go up to somewhere probably not far shy of $1 million. We've got somebody looking, and I'll show you the valve down there, at a 405 TL, which is a massive trial like this. It'll give us a 100-watt Class A1 trial, but it runs at 4,500 volts. So designing the power supply is a bit of an issue.
So this is a.
But these is
have a
fully
separate.
modular.
These have a separate power supply, or
No. These are
Okay.
the power supplies. No.
All right.
These are fully modular, so you can make them longer, you can make them wider, you can make them. You can't make them higher, but you can make them longer and wider. We've sold a couple of pairs with a 212 trial, which is also very big. I have one down there. So that's why it's called the Legend, because it's designed. The idea is that we'll only make legendary valve tubes.
The legendary valves now have a home,
valves that
right?
don't have a
You
home.
only have a few of them, so you can't bring it into production.
Exactly. So
But they should be heard.
this is where this guy makes some issues, but we're waiting for some parts for the new meshes, so he's not started yet. Tested power supplies for the TT3s. They're made in Lithuania now. Groovy sits in here, I sit in there. Horrible mess. Look at this. Shocking.
It's fine.
You've seen the EVGA sound card.
You know, we haven't. We've seen pictures of them.
I've got some complete ones somewhere. I don't know where the hell they are.
Okay, I think that this is
He's as
I
bad
think
as
that this
me.
is really a great thing, and the idea for this to, I mean, okay.
Isn't that funny?
So there's other things in Langley, actually. The original NASA Research Center,
Well, that might have been where.
which is what I thought of. I didn't. Yes,
well,
it is.
I mean, I didn't Google the address. I don't know where it was. But I looked at it and I thought, Langley, Virginia. That sounds vaguely familiar. Anyway, let's move along rapidly. This is where we make most of the capacitors now. We still have 2 people in Cornwall making the silver caps and some of the bigger caps. But all the small ones, both tin and copper, are made here. We've got 3 more machines coming in over the next 6 months. But we're having to train, we're bringing people in and training them. And that takes time, so we can't just move all of it, because then everything will stop. But the people that are making the caps down there, they're now, I think he's 76 and she's 79. So we're beginning to reach the point where we're going to have to say, right, guys, we're going to go. I mean, they're in perfectly good health, but still. So all the black gates are in here. There's all the servers in here. We have nothing in the cloud. Everything, because I don't trust the cloud. So now his son, who unfortunately went to business school in the US, and he is now in the process of going in and doing the American way. I don't think he's going to last very long. I think because it's a family-owned company.
So you're just like waiting for things to settle down.
So we're sort of waiting for him to be booted out.
Oh, jeez.
And
I'm sorry.
But you know,
I mean, it's like you have patience. You have a lot of patience.
well, I haven't had
You need a
patience.
lot of damn patience.
And I've been swimming against the stream for 30 years. But this is the canteen. This is where the rest of the meals can go in that fridge. And there's a photographic studio here where Daniel does the photography.
Oh, good. Okay.
We have invested in all the various bits and pieces necessary.
Mike's
So
looking for a.
now you have to go to the
He's
end.
looking for a backdrop so that when we photograph something, he doesn't get the
Refrigerator in the background.
background. Right?
I don't know whether what he takes home, because the camera itself is seriously expensive. Well, these are the options. The main transformers are here. That's a main. It's going to be a sequel, but it's at the moment it's an I equal to test the voltages. So but the chassis is incredibly complex. It's ridiculous. So we've sold a couple of pairs with these.
So that's the
This is
212.
a 212, which is quite a thing.
Okay, there's a new production.
These are new production, yeah. These are new production. And they work really well, so that's quite good. So we got the...
Is this ours?
This is yours, oh yeah. You just give a
After
few pads
funding.
of blood and
After
we'll,
funding.
put you on the
After
list.
exit event.
Yeah. You've got the output transformer there, there's the full 55% nickel also output transformer. Power supply. Still black gates, we still have enough of these. You know, when I look at other companies' products and they say, oh, this amplifier is £200,000, and you look at it and you think, really? There's nothing in there that justifies £200,000. Now there, you can justify it.
Oh.
And that's the thing that, you know, and then people go on the asylum and so on, go, oh, everything just made it really overpriced, blah, 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 blah. They really have no concept of what's involved. I mean, just the design of the chassis took 3 years to make something that's completely modular. So that you can, all you do is you just press a button on the drawing package in there, and it'll make it, everything is increased by 5% or 10% or whatever it is. And then it generates all the drawings. So, yeah.
Wow.
Here's the traditional plan. It's using the standard plan.
Oh,
It's
okay.
using longakus and things.
Okay.
There we are.
So what's happening with this guy?
Well, we're going to abandon that chassis for now because we can't. We've invested so far. We spent $50,000 on the tooling, and we still can't get them to fit absolutely perfect. So I basically abandoned that, and we're going to make something that essentially looks a bit like this, a bit wide and not quite as deep. And then they are going to go into production in probably July, August in Lithuania. So we're in the process of winding up enough transformers and so on. Because all the transformers are made in-house. We're training a couple of people in the transformer departments next door. Hang on, please. In there, the lights are on so you can see. But again, you know, the rest of the industry talks a big game, but they really, you know, that machine there in the middle with those 4 shiny boxes on top, they are computer controlled tensioners. They're $5,000 each. Nobody uses stuff like this except us, or people that make things for medical, for example. And then you can charge a lot more for it. So there you have it. The assembly of the transformers is done here actually. So they come in like this, and then they put the wiring on. And see, that's the primer. You can see how thin that is. I don't know what these are for. It doesn't say. It just says 226 to 1. Whatever that means. And here's the little machine, the little router. With its associated computer. It's fully automated.
So it's like a CNC machine.
It's a little tiny router,
little
CNC machine. Yeah. I'm looking at buying the bigger one so that we can, because this one can only deal with a depth about that much, which means we have to put things together.
Like the thicker
the
versions
thicker
of
ones,
the
glued,
valve
they're glued
bases and all
together.
that. It has to be all
They're all
manually.
glued together, and you know, it's a lot of work. So I'm looking at buying the bigger one. The bigger one, the one I want, is it's about $100,000, £75,000. I haven't got the money to spend it all. We have the, follow me. You can take some pictures and stuff tomorrow when there's people here. That makes much more sense. So this is where, at the moment, there's about 2/3 of the valve stock is up here.
Oh man.
It needs a serious tidy up, but the only one that knows what's up here is me. I've got other things to do.
I mean, like you have time to come up here and.
Oh, I do. I mean, I take the odd Sunday where I go up here and work.
Try to make a dent.
I make a
in it,
little
right?
dent. I make a little dent in it, but it needs probably 2 or 3 weeks concentrated, 10 hours a day. There's a 3D printer here as well.
Oh.
There's something wrong with it. We can't figure out what it is. It wasn't very expensive, about £800. But we have, I mean, there's over 1 million valves in stock. So it's But this is where, you know, as you hear me say this all the time, I have no respect for the rest of the industry. I think they're just toy manufacturers. I don't think they invest in anything. I don't think they have no real concept of where the improvements might lie. It's all sort of tinkering at the edges. They don't go in and look at anything. I mean, I can show you in my office, we've got, we're working on a new resistive material. Because tantalum is by far the best sounding anybody uses now. But the best sounding, probably the best sounding resistor material called niobium. There's only one mineable deposit in the world of
I was going to
niobium.
say, as you go into these, the rare earth elements.
Yeah. No, I mean, but that's the point that, you know,
I guess you don't really need that much per resistor.
No, you don't. And I mean, there is quite a large deposit in Brazil of niobium. It's owned by the world's most secretive corporation called CBMM. It's they in Corporate Watch, or whatever the hell they're called, corporate responsibility watch or something, of which I'm a member of. I'm sure I'm on lots of lists, so I should be shot. So it'll probably happen sooner or later. So you can see we sit on rather a nice chunk of valves here. Well, we got technology coming. I mean, the DAC technology is the next job that Darko is going to be doing, is some work on what we call the valve volume control, which basically where we use a valve as both the gain stage and the volume control. So it simplifies. I mean, we got a prototype.
So you don't even have to really, you don't even
I mean,
have a
the
traditional
prototype, which was based on an M2, beat the M10 signature in most respects. So there's a quantum leap available there. This is what I mean.
And the volume control makes a huge difference.
Oh, the volume.
I
And the
mean,
fact
it's like,
that but it'll also be remote control, so people will be very happy. You know, all these couch potatoes that can afford to buy all this shit, you know, they're going to be very, very happy because they won't have to get out of that chair. I've got 6J5s, 5687s. I've still got about 48,000 left, which I think represents most of the stock that's available in the world.
I didn't send the tubes with the keytones because I thought it was close to
No,
Newcastle.
we'll put something like
I mean, it was just like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, no, we'll do it. Shameful.
No, this is so awesome. Oh, no, this is great. And you actually have space mostly, you know?
Well, no, I mean, there is space.
Because there's space to work in here.
Yeah.
It's not like, you're not like really hemmed
No.
in. And, well, yes, of course, there's a million little things, and it's going to...
No, I mean, it'll
Some of this
get better.
cataloging
It'll
and
get better.
stuff, it's
Cataloging
like,
it
oh,
is going to
geez.
take a bit of time.
It's just never first on the priority list, right?
No.
I mean, come on.
No, but
That's
I
a
mean,
real
we're
business.
sitting on, you know, most of the common types we use of the new old stock ones. We've got 30 years worth of stock, maybe 50. I don't know. I won't be alive by the time the last one's used that much. I don't know. I'm still buying as well. Whenever something comes up, I'm buying it. Right, you first.
I care deeply about his, you know, about his...
Neli is very straight and honest, and you know,
Oh, those guys are so much fun.
a great asset.
So, okay, this guy that makes these, he's still making Palace, isn't he?
No. And they make 10 resistors of each value. They have to run the machine, the spotter target machine. And the biggest problem with niobium, and this is why we think it's never been used, is that its temperature coefficient's really bad, which means there's an enormous variation when you heat treat them. You start out with something that was 10K, and some of them end up as 8.5K, and others end up as 11K. So the actual temperature variation is a nightmare, and that means you have to hand select them before you put them, you put the rings on.
Well, that's
so
actually it's a production nightmare to have that.
It is completely. I mean, I think that's why. But it just demonstrates how much better the Japanese are at working on things like this, because you can never get anybody else to do this. There's no other company that would do this, And it's the same with the black gates. I mean, they're still working on it, because the old technical director, he retires. I think it's end of next month. You can have Andy Whittles. How about that?
Okay, there we go.
So I found a collector. I've known him for years, but he is now getting to an age where I wanted to prevent his children from selling this shit off.
Well, especially
So
not knowing what the hell
I made
it is,
him an offer he couldn't refuse, and acquired most of these. Now this is a PX4. It's either PX4 or PX25. I can't remember what that number means. But here's a DA100. This is the same DA100 you just saw. Now this is the later one. Now this one is the early one.
Oh, and it's like twice the volume. Check that boy out.
Now how about this? Look at that. These are super rare. So what I was going to do is I was going to give these to Pavan. We were going to do an analysis of them. We were going to rent a machine that's about $3,000 a day.
And see if we can make...
do an exact metallurgic analysis of them. And then we're going to go to Pavan and say, look, this is what we do. And they have a laser scanner that basically can scan it so that they can
Is
get
it
the exact
non-destructive
sizes.
so they can...
It's non-destructive. I mean, these are so expensive.
Yeah,
so
no. I mean, and there's like 3 left in the world. You don't want
It makes your
one.
head spin. And then we remake some of these old types, because the fundamental problem is that, unless somebody reinstates these, nobody's going to do it by themselves. The people who make the valves in China, they're not going to invest in this. They need somebody behind them that'll say, well, I'll buy 1,000 and here's $50,000. And then they'll do it. But then, of course, being Chinese, they then start filtering out the back door and doing all sorts of naughty things, which is a bit of a nuisance. But look at this one. This is a 1920s VT25 mesh plate. Have a good close look at it. Don't drop it. So, coffee.
Okay, I'm going to give this back to you.
Put this one away.
The plates
How
on the
about
window.
this one?
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, look at that.
Look at this one. A Telefunken RS237. This is a German. I mean, we know because
No, I mean, if that's a 211, you know kind of what it's
We've
going to be
already
like.
built amplifiers with some of these. The ones we haven't built amplifiers with are things like this. This is a DA30. This is also an old English. This is sort of about 1930. This one.
They're the only other people who I know who've even made a stab at this.
Oh yeah,
I made an effort in this area, and that's why I bring them.
My friend Lawrence, who has one of the best collections in the world of Western equipment, and he has searched it out himself and dragged it out of theatres. He's still finding it in the UK, but it's getting access to these old buildings that have been closed since the 1950s. You know, he's trying to get into a building up in Scotland at the moment, which is just, you know, there is a pan. He's been in there and had a look, and from what he can see, there is a complete system sitting there with the 16A.
Like peering
with the,
through the windows?
well, no,
or
it's
whatever?
basically what they've done is they've built a wall. The entire projector room.
Oh, it's
They just build a wall in front of it. Oh, we don't need this anymore. Brick, and then it just sits there. And it's been sitting there since 1957 or something. Fuck knows when. You know. I mean, I think it's extraordinarily funny on several levels, but you know, it really isn't that good. Now look at this one. This is the crown jewel. This is an Austrian triode called a triotron. Isn't that a great name? Look at that. I mean, how fucking neat is that?
There's quite a lot of work it takes to make a legend for one of these, right?
Oh no,
And
no,
something
there will be.
simpler would need to
No,
be.
we're
you
not
need to be
going
able
to make
hear
a
the
legend
damn
with
thing.
this. That'll take too long, but and cost too much money. But we'll build, you know, a Quest or something with really good parts like the K-on level for some of these. But you know, I think this would be much more interesting to have a broader spectrum of output valves to work with. Because some of these are, I mean, there's no question that some of these are better than the 211s and the 300Bs.
Well, you know,
Do you take milk or no milk?
given this machine, probably no milk.
Okay.
Are you going to have some because you made
I'm going to have some milk.
Oh, good.
Fine.
Okay.
I'm just going to clean my cup. See, what I really need is an extra lifetime. Then I can finish this project. I don't know whether you saw the interview with I think it was in Fidelity in Germany, and they translated it to English. And my statement in there caused a great deal of derision, which was quite amusing.
You know,
Because basically what this project is we'll stop making audio, we'll stop designing any more audio products after the Legend. Because then we will have gotten to a point where we can't make something that's economically viable, that you could sell, that's better. We've got to designs that are better, but they're going to be so expensive to make that you're looking at, you know, product that's like $1.5 million per pair. I don't think we can sell them. I mean, I might make a pair for myself, but you know, anything else, I don't think we can sell it.
Okay, well, I think this ratchets up over time, right?
Oh,
So-
it does,
so
yes.
once you- I
So
mean,
does the
once-
price.
Once the and not just due to inflation, but due to sort of how this particular luxury market works. You know, you're going to get people used to the Legends, and then there will be these guys who don't want to be outdone. And then,
we've got a bit of that in China, but they are a damn sight better than these things. I mean, fucking hell are they bad. They are so literally, you know, I don't think your hearing would work very well after a while. But, you know, such is life. So coffee strong enough for him? So Michael, you don't drink any coffee or anything?
It doesn't do caffeine.
Huh?
And me,
So what happens when you drink
I don't really
coffee?
function without.
I don't
some
function
level
without
of-
coffee. I drink about 10 espressos a day, and if you look at it in coffee terms, well, of course I milk them down to nothing. So I drink very, very milky coffee. Fucking hell, that was hot. Sorry.
So I know it's hard to get used to. We love all of our children. We don't keep anything that we don't.
No, I think that's very important. I mean, I think, you know, I've been trying to explain to a couple of the US dealers that have approached me that really this sort of supermarket mentality that is so common in audio retail now, that's really out. That's all the people that are still using that model are going bankrupt. They simply cannot maintain the amount of inventory necessary to be able to demonstrate most of it. And the problem is that when these models changes coming, you know, how the hell do you keep the new stuff on when you haven't sold the old stuff?
And when there's a new thing every.
Well, the best example is there was a dealer in Rome there must be 3-4 years ago now that went bust, and he was a big dealer of ours as well, which cost me nearly €250,000 when he went bust because he'd sold all the demonstrators, because that was the only things he could sell because they were still current. You know, so I mean, you know, you take a risk. That's Leslie was not impressed, I have to say. It was like, that was a bad decision. Yeah, well, you make a few. That's just one of these things. I don't know what you can do about it. But he basically went bankrupt because he was. What he did was whenever somebody made something, a new model came out from Audio Research or Macintosh or whatever, he would take the old models and put them in the stock room and wouldn't try to sell them. He ended up with a stock room that had, I don't know, €4 million worth of second-hand, ex-demo, most of it, products in it. In the end, he ran out of cash flow. And then, I actually went down there to see if I could...
I was looking at Google Maps of this site, right? And I noticed that there's some other audio distributor, like down here somewhere, right?
Well, there's a company that sells professional equipment of some description, but we don't really see them. We tried, a few of us tried to set up like a committee of the people that have factories here to try and, to get the road fixed. Yeah, for example, or
the power or whatever.
Or to sort out the parking. Parking is an absolute nightmare.
Shall I leave the door open?
I'll close it.
It's an old PRC3.
What?
It's
It's
an old PRC3.
Yeah, it's quite old. I don't think they're very good, those things, to be honest with you.
What do you use?
I don't use any. Here's the whole car.
Oh, so this is the broken shock?
No, the broken shock's over here.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense to me.
Broken shock's over here.
Okay, but it's super
It's
wide.
literally damaged the mounting here. You can't really see it, but it's damaged the mounting. Now this is
Yeah, there's
this is an Albrecht's supercharger. This car with full boost has nearly 700 horsepower.
Okay.
Oh, you're coming down.
No, I'll just drop a TH because I'm off.
Okay.
I'll come and say goodbye to Nelly. Nice to see you. I'll see you in Munich, yeah?
Yes.
Cheers, mate. Nice to see you. Okay, take care. Have a nice dinner, yeah? Bye-bye. Bye. Cheers.
Cheers.
So but you can see. Look at the wheel. Look at the size of the wheels.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's quite good laugh. It tops out. Emily was driving this in Germany on the motorways there, and she topped it out at about 290 kilometers an hour. And then she went over a bridge. And the bridge was a bit bumpy, and it bottomed out. And there's sparks and shit. She was like, oh, I better slow down. We were going to go with these two, but we're waiting for parts for this one. It was parked in Emily's garage, and we had a mouse infestation, and they literally blew the wiring. So he's had to rewire a large part of the car, which is a great pain now. This one is, just needs some new air filter. This one has been resprayed and reconditioned completely. It's an E36 AMG, of which there is 7 right-hand drive ever made.
Oh. Okay. Now this is like the stealth show car. Right?
This is the stealth show car. We have 2 of these. We have a left-hand drive and a right-hand drive. Here's the
Okay, so are you? But you're not doing the amp covers and stuff.
Oh no, that's what we do.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what
I mean, the fact that we can,
I mean, you have the booth and everything.
we have the booth and everything. It'll look great when it's done. This is not moving very quick. This is a 560 AMG. One has just there's one for sale in the US for $350,000. It's pretty good. I paid $50,000 for this about 6 years ago. Here's another one, 7.2 litre V12.
Oh, the V12 definitely catches.
The 7.2 litre V12, cooling special. Another one with wheels. This is a massive job. I paid nothing for this. I think it cost me £5,000. I mean,
That's
just
awesome.
the wheels are more expensive. But,
I like this.
yeah, so do I. I think it looks, I mean, when you look at it from behind, it looks just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, this is the DPI machine. And I believe...
So this is the transformer.
This is the transformer impregnation machine, and there's the oven that you bake them in, the compressor for sucking in and out the air in and out, and so on. There's 2 machines like this in the UK. One belongs to the importer, and the other one belongs to us. And no transformer manufacturer in the UK has any one of these.
So,
it is laughable how little people invest in their businesses. It really is.
So how soon is it going to be that? Because these
Well,
haven't actually been
we're
able to
sourcing.
use.
We're basically what we've done is we've spent quite a bit of time making transformers, and then testing one whether they're quiet, and 2 what they sound like. Because it's no good that we start replacing all the transformers and then all the equipment sounds worse than it did when they had the noisy transformer in it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make that's not good.
That's not the direction
That's
we
not
want.
good for our reputation. So Andy and Darko and one of the guys, Tom, have spent the last 5-6 months on this, and I think we've got the right composition of materials and winding techniques and so on, and core materials, so that we can start doing it. So I think the first part's coming late this month.
Oh, that's.
But it takes time to wind this up.
Peter, when I ask these questions about when, I'm not like it should be yesterday.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, if you take it that way, I will do my best to ask you.
No, I'm not
Really?
taking that. It's perfectly fine. Just take the pick. There's some valves that need to go up. Yeah, these are 56, 51s. These are the stabilizers for the M3, M5, M6, M8s.
The one that replaced the OB2. This is the one replaced the OB2.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is kind of like the S8 in some ways. It's big and fast and heavy, right?
What's that?
And comfortable.
This one?
This car.
I have an AMG version of this with a V8 called an S60 AMG, which sits in France at the moment. We drove down in that a couple of years ago. It's been sitting in France since.
Really?
It hasn't been home. Yeah, it hasn't been home. But I haven't been down there very much. I've been down there for like 2 days at a time. It's
a waste.
yeah.
It's a good place. Maybe next year I visit there on behalf of you.
So here's this is a 5.8 litre V8 Brabus full spec Geländewagen. I was thinking of taking that. Ooh, 90cc. Still looks like good shit out there. 807s. I mean, there's 150,000 valves here that need to go up there, but I need to create some space. Look at this, beautifully finished. Yes, we will be very proud.
That's the back hatch, right?
That's the back hatch. Done. It still needs a bit of work. It's taking shape. Very nice. But you can see here, these are all transformer animations and the sequels. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons. When we buy, we have to buy minimum 6 ton, and then we can have it in different sizes. So we end up with a colossal amount of material. It's absolutely ridiculous. But again, which other audio manufacturer does this? Nobody. They are toy manufacturers. Yes, here's a couple of the experiments we've done. Look at this one. This one's got. This is for Andrew. This is for Andrew actually.
Oh,
He wanted this. Not quite like that, but we sort of experimented to see what the finishes look like. There's a side cheek for the black one.
Either for the
Legend. Looks pretty good. Bloody heavy as well. It's very dusty. That's the top cover. But there are God knows how many tons of core material here. And it's all along there, all along in there, everywhere. It's just ridiculous. But if you don't invest, they won't sell it to you. 526,000 miles she's done. And we've got the online stuff upstairs in the sales areas.